Mr. Lundgren, thank you so much for giving me a couple of minutes to talk about this exciting project. How
Thank
are
you.
you?
Very well, thanks.
So I was reviewing your filmography. You've done a lot of stuff. I realized that you have not directed a project for a couple of years now. So I was wondering what attracted you from this story to decide to take the wheel behind the camera again.
Yeah, I was going to do film with Scott Adkins. It fell through. So then I was looking for a script that had two characters to try to see if I found something that was interesting. And I found a script. I changed the one character to make the backstory with the guard to make him have more desperation. And then I worked on the characters a little bit, and I realized that the movie takes place in one building, more or less more than half the picture. So I knew I could do it on a low budget quickly because we didn't have much money. So I decided, yeah, let me try it. And you know, I also like to work with Scott Adkins, and he's reliable and he's a good fighter. So I wasn't so nervous about it. But of course, then COVID come and shut us down, and we had to wait for 8 months and all that stuff. But that's the reason I got involved. I just wanted to see if I liked to direct, if I would enjoy it, which I did.
Excellent. Now that you mentioned Scott, that's another interesting aspect of this project is that it is not the first time that you have worked with Scott. So, however, for this project, you are also producers. How was that working dynamics with Scott, not only as your screen partner, but also as producers of the film?
Yeah, well, there was two sides to it. One was I was directing him as an actor. So, you know, we worked on the backstory of the character and all of that, trying to make him feel organic. And then we had the fights where he designed the fights and he pretty much directed the fights. And he also cut the fights. So we were both involved in different parts of the picture. Of course, we have one fight together, so that was hard work for me. But since he's a bit younger than me, and fortunately a little bigger, but that was a tough scene. Yeah.
Excellent. I really like that. I really like from this film that for an action project, the script takes its time to develop the characters, and then in the second half of the film, then fully enters the action. Something kind of unusual for the action film. So how was working with that part of the process?
Well, thank you. I wanted to do that. I really wanted the audience to understand who these people are. So when they end up in a dangerous situation, you care about them because you know where they come from. And I have to argue with the producers about some of that stuff, but I think I also knew that I only had so much money for the action, so I would rather put the action in the second half and develop the characters in the first half, which is something I think I'm going to stick to that in the future because directors I like Clint Eastwood, for instance, he does that quite a bit. He takes his time in the beginning because in the beginning of the movie, the audience are open, fresh, and you can give them character beats and story for about 15, 20 minutes. They're okay. You don't have to hit them with a big shootout in the first scene.
Exactly.
Some producers think you have to do it that way, but I don't agree with that.
You did great. So another important aspect of the film is that people might know you as an action star, but in this film, there's something interesting. Like there's an emotional element of your character. How was working with that entering that area of the character where his motivations are purely emotional and somehow justified?
Well, I was lucky. Like about 3-4 years ago, I got a role in Aquaman, in which playing a political figure who cares about his daughter quite a bit. And then I did Creed 2, which was quite emotional when I have a relationship with father-son. So I wanted to continue that and always find in my project something personal and emotional that I can hang on to. So obviously in Castle Falls, I have something very serious. So it was satisfying to play those moments. It's always a little bit, it's not depressing. You just have to let it go and just go with it. But when you do, you feel like, oh, I'm performing. It's interesting. I'm performing something that I enjoy doing, which is to play a real person.
Yeah, you did great. It was awesome. So for my last question, I cannot finish without telling you that part of my adolescence was spent hating Drago, in my book, one of the best villains in film history, and that is
Thanks.
good. So
Yeah,
as
thanks,
recently
man.
as recently as last Friday, a new edition of the famous Rocky 4 was released. So do you have the opportunity to see it, to watch it, and what do you think about it? Because I understand that there's new footage from Drago. So
You know, I haven't seen it yet because I was working all the time, but I'm going to see it soon. I hear it's good, and like you said, I think it shows like a different part of that character. And you know, I always saw him as a victim of the system. Like Soviet Union picked this guy to do all this dirty work for him, and it wasn't really his fault. So, but you're right. A lot of the audience hated me, of course, for killing Apollo. But after 30 years or so, I think most people are okay with it.
excellent. Thank you very much. And again,
Thanks, man.
thanks for the opportunity. I honestly never thought that I would have the opportunity to talk to you, a
Okay,
legendary
man.
figure that had a lot to do with my love for cinema and commenting and writing about this fascinating world. So thank you, and stay safe and healthy, whatever you are. Thank you very much.